like I was saying before we went off, what we're trying to do is to have a free meeting to be having a like a Zoom meeting every Sunday, to number one, to look at the market together, to look at what the market has done probably during the week, and also look at what it's going to do in the coming week. The market has a way of moving in a particular trend. So we'll be looking at the weekly charts and what we can expect in the coming week. Basically, what it's going to do for you is to refresh your memory. It's to refresh your memory about the market and help you to also follow the trend, to have an idea of where price is right now. Because about staying aware, like I always say, it's about ensuring that you are aware of what the price is doing, of what the price of the market is doing, and what it's likely to do. So basically, starting out today, we'll be looking at Bitcoin first, then we'll look at the Forex market. Probably I'll take a look at gold. We'll analyze everything together. But looking at the crypto market last week, if you're on the Zoom meeting, Bitcoin was around 17,000, if I'm not mistaken. And just within 2-3 days, it has started, it's done about 20,000, it's moved up, some percentages up, I think about 5% up from where it was before. So basically, what I like to do is to pay attention to Bitcoin. Like I said last week, Bitcoin being the driver of the crypto market and number one, crypto, is very, very important for us to look at it, and see what it's doing. And last week, remember, I said, it's better for you to be doing what we call DSC, that's dollar cost averaging. That way you are buying Bitcoin bits. When price was down, if I'm in my crypto group, in my WhatsApp paid group, I always tell people to do DC at least for the last couple of months. I mean, we've seen coins, we've seen very good projects, that have done like 90% off, they are 90% down. Crypto that have done 95%, 97%, and they have a very good, solid project. The bear market is the best time to buy some of these assets at a cheap price, because we all know that during halving and when market starts to peak, probably we are looking at next year, we might not get all these assets, all these cheap assets at this price again. We might not get them at this price. You see DOT at $5.93. You might not see DOT by this time next year at this price. You might not see Avalanche, AVAX at this price. You might not see, Uniswap at this price. Chainlink, you might not see it at this price. Cosmos is a very good project. I've been shouting that people should buy. I've been buying this one when the price was lower than this. There's so many good projects out there. But today we'll just be looking at Bitcoin, be looking at the technical analysis of Bitcoin. And what I feel, looking at the technical analysis, what I feel Bitcoin is likely to do in the coming weeks. And also, the fundamental, we talked about, the fundamentals that can affect Bitcoin price last week. And those fundamentals still stand. We talk about inflation in the United States. We also spoke about interest rates. And I said we'll start seeing significant price movement in the crypto market when the interest rates are going lower. When the Federal Reserve starts cutting interest rate. Right now, the Federal Reserve is, they've been very, very, let me say, strict, and they've been increasing interest rates in the last year. Like last year, they increased interest rate by about 7 times, which is an unprecedented event. They've not done that in a long while. For them to increase interest rate that much, they were doing that to curb inflation. But like I said last week, it will get to a point where they will have no choice than to start cutting on interest rate. Right now, I think Jerome Powell says, that's the Federal Reserve Chairman, says they will not, this year, they will not increase interest rate. We don't know. And that was what he said, events can change. There's so many events that can change that, but for now, like December last month, the interest rate remained the same. Remember last week I said there are 3 stages, for the Federal Reserve. The first stage is where they increase interest rate, which they have done throughout last year. The second stage is where they will keep interest rates at where they will not cut interest rate, they will not increase it, they will just keep it at status quo. I think they did that December 14. They didn't change interest rate. Interest rate was the way it was. And the last stage is where, you know, every trader is looking forward to, where they will start cutting interest rate. At that point, most time what normally happens is that the prices of assets goes up, like cryptos, like stocks, gold, real estate, everything starts shooting up. So right now, they have not increased interest rates. We are waiting for the one they will do this year, this month, sorry, because they have another one this month, they have another one next month. So we hope that they don't increase interest rate. You know, that will give us some kind of idea of where they're about to go to. So, but then I would say that let's look at what Bitcoin is doing, you know, on the chart. On the chart, I think I'm right. Okay, right now I'm on the monthly time frame. Oh, give me a minute. Let me move this around. I'm on the monthly time frame right now. Bitcoin is sitting on a price is sitting on a very significant resistance around this area. You know, it shoot up from here and it this way. This is a monthly candlestick. Let's go to the weekly chart and see what is happening. So on the weekly chart, you can see that it's sitting pretty on this price. So what I expect is see that price, you know, gets rejected from here, and see that price get rejected from here and come down back here, and then we have this move. Most time that's what price always do. It might not actually sometimes it might not actually come back to this to where it started from, right? We are looking at technical analysis now. Price, let me do this again so that we'll be on the same page. I'm going to take this off. Sometimes we'll see price do this. If it get rejected, it comes like this, stays there, and then go back like this. This is what we call pullback. So most times, what most traders do is that they wait for this pullback. Sometimes they wait for the pullback back inside this area and they buy. Some traders trade that way, but I always prefer to wait, especially if I short-term trader and you trade futures and you want to incorporate a little bit of holding Bitcoin for the long term, but using futures. Now I'll wait for price to break this resistance, and this is what you normally have. This is what you normally have. Price goes like this, come back like this. It will do 50% retracement of that move, and then you see something like this, and then it comes back like this, and then it goes back, like it goes up to around 28,000. Now this is what we call higher low. You see this. You see this low right here is higher than this low, right? And then if you look at this low, it's higher than this low. So you have higher low and higher high. So this scenario is a bullish scenario. So with the way Bitcoin is, and Bitcoin is very strong right now, we might expect you should be looking forward to something like this. Okay. So and then we have people we call the breakout traders. So they wait for price to break this place, and then they set something like let me look for another. Okay, they set something like a buy order above this I'm going to move this down. Okay, above this resistance, there'll be a buy order above this resistance, and immediately price breaks out, it picks them up and it goes up. But the disadvantage of trading like this sometimes is that when you put your buy order above this resistance and you put your stop loss here, price will pick your price and come back and eat you and take you out, and then the trend will continue upwards. So to stay safe, what I always do is to wait for price to break this resistance, and because it's a very significant resistance, you always have a pullback. Not 100%, but 95% of the time. You know, when price breaks this resistance, it goes up and then pull back, and then you cannot buy and then follow price up. Okay, I mean that's in the short term. But right now, where price is right now, we might still, I don't want to believe that we are in the bull season like we used to say yet. So, but then I feel, this bottom holds around this area. I think we're around, for so long, we're around that 17,000. The crypto market being a very volatile market, price can still come back here. The market can do anything. Price can still even come back and break this place. We can see another scenario we can have. We can have price come all the way down and break this place and continue continue the downtrend. That's another scenario we can have. Price can come here and break this low and continue the downtrend. But right now, this scenario is looking more like it, where we have something like this, we have something like this, we have something like this, then we have something like this, and then we have something like this, and then we go back, we go to this point and test this resistance again. So with the momentum of this, the way Bitcoin moved last week, this scenario is looking likely. But at the same time, as a trader, as a professional trader, you don't want to assume this is what price is going to do. You want to follow up. You actually want to follow price. You don't want to assume that we are going to have this scenario. So when you see price there, you buy. We actually want to, follow what price is doing, because, like I said, we can have another scenario where price just, where this place will be rejected, and then you come all the way down. You can also have this scenario. So to play safe, you actually want to follow price. In case I break this place. Now, there are some super patient traders. Me, I'm not that super patient. They will wait for to see what price is going to pay out. The way it's going to play out the two scenarios. And I'm going to share the second scenario, like I said. Price can either do this also. We can either have something like this, and then it comes here, breaks this low, and come back here, and then come back and then keeps going down. We can have that too. So, it depends. But like I said, the momentum is looking likely to the upside. Okay, but as time goes on during the week, I'll be dropping some signals on the chart. So because if you look at what Bitcoin has done in the past, the way it drops, normally it comes down, test this zone, this support zone. Like this one, it breaks the support zone, and then there's a bounce. It goes back and breaks this zone, this support zone. It bounces around, breaks it, bounce around, breaks it like that. So since we are in a downtrend, but the way it is like, it's like looking like we are going up, but at the same time, I'll say you have to be careful. That is if you're a short-term trader. But for a long-term trader, for buy and hold, like I always say, this year is the best. You just buy in beats, and then as price goes back up, you'll be in profit. So let's look at EURUSD. EURUSD has been on the uptrend. Let's go to the monthly. Let's go to the monthly time frame. I'm going to remove this so that we can see. By the way, our course will soon be out. So probably in the next couple of weeks, we are just putting some finishing touches to the videos and the website. So once it's out, we'll let you know. So I'll be explaining the course. We'll be learning how to set up your chart like this in this clean format, because most of the charts out there where you have a lot of indicators that will be confusing you, you will not know, the direction of the market. Like I said last week, if a 5-year-old chart cannot tell you the trend of the market by looking at your chart, that means your chart is complicated. You want to keep your chart as simple as possible. You want to make it as simple as possible so that you are not confused. Okay. Let me remove all this online so that we can look at so we're looking at just the zone. So we see EURUSD bounce off from here. And then, like I said, the way I trade forex, I always pay attention to the overall trend. And I do that by looking at the monthly time frame. And then I trade in that direction only. Ever since Euro bounces off this price, this major support, we see that it has been going up from there. And although you can have some minor pullback here and there, let's go to the weekly chart. You can have some minor pullback. You see pullback, but then it keeps moving up. Now, this resistance was a major problem, before we went for the new year break. This resistance was a major problem for euro. But eventually, last week, it broke off of this resistance. So I expect euro to continue an uptrend from here. We'll have something like that looks like this. Price will bounce off of here and then continue moving up. Okay. So this scenario, I expect euro to play out, coming in this week, because on the weekly chart you can see that there's already a clear breakout. There's already a clear breakout for euro. So this week I'll be looking forward to buy. Okay. I'll be paying attention to buy movement. If you look at last week, let's look at what euro do on the lower time frame so that we'll see how clear it is. You see that most times what it does is that there's a pullback and then there's a continual uptrend. I'm looking for the trend line. Okay. It bounces off. It bounces off this trend line. It comes and bounces and then it keeps going up. Like what it did throughout last week. It comes a bounce off and then goes back up. Comes a bounce off and goes back up. So I'll also be looking forward to a bounce. Probably comes to this area. If this support is not broken, then we can say bounce off, or it can break back down all the way down. See that it comes like this and then continue this uptrend, or it comes back inside this support and then before we see an uptrend again. So, but like I said, I'll actually be looking forward to a pullback for Euro USD, a pullback, and then I'll be looking for a very strong buy move during this week. During the week, I'll be dropping the signals. Also, let's quickly look at gold. I think we have gold. Okay. I think I dropped this entry on this week. Some people, somebody sent me a message that I took this trade. Give me a minute. I want to remove all these things so that it's not confusing. So gold, just like Bitcoin, because dollar is very weak. So every assets and every currency, that's trading against dollar is in an uptrend. So gold also has been in a very strong uptrend, as you can see. I think I'm on the daily chart. Okay, let's go and check gold on the weekly chart also. Gold also, has broken away from this very strong resistance. There's a resistance around there, that was holding gold down. So last week it broke off of this resistance. And gold is eyeing this new around 1,990. So also for gold, I'll be looking for a pullback before I take a buy. Like I always tell people, you don't need to rush into the market. Allow the market to come to you. If I've ever seen an on-tap before, they always wait for their game. They say let the game come to you. So allow the game to come to you before you take a buy. Because if you take a buy around there, probably immediately the market opens. The mistake some traders do is that as soon as probably they've not been around, they've not been watching the price. And that's why I said it's important that we have this weekly meeting so that it will help you to keep abreast of the time of price. So most times what people do is they don't wait for price to pull back. So they jump on price, and then price come down, eat their stop loss, and then now continue in that direction. I don't know if I know most of us listening to me would have been in that scenario before, where price will eat your stop loss and then it will now continue going back up. So most times you actually want to wait. It's about this market is about patience, your ability to wait for it, for price to come to you, and then you can go back in. Okay, for gold, I'm actually looking for price to pull back from here. Let's go to let me look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, let me look at the 4-hour chart. If you look at the 4-hour chart, there's a clear breakout of this place. Or you go to the 1 hour, there's already a clear breakout. So what you want to do is for price to pull back before you take a buy, or you sit on your hand. If you don't want to do it, you sit on your hand and you don't do anything, because right now where gold is, and gold is very volatile, so you don't want to go and take a buy at the top, because you can see that there's a resistance around there on the lower time frame. This is on the daily chart. On the daily chart, there seems to be a resistance, a very strong resistance. This place used to be a support, but anytime support is broken, the support becomes a resistance. On the way down, it broke the support, and then this support become a resistance. As you can see, it tested it again and it came down. So you want to be careful around there, taking a buy around there. You don't want to take a buy at the resistance level. You want to wait for price to pull back before you take your buy. So for you to take your buy, you want to wait, probably go to the 4-hour time frame or the 1 hour time frame, or sometimes you want to check the 30 minutes and 15 minutes time frame. You want to see that price clearly has pulled back, and then you are seeing probably something like it has pulled back to the support zone. For example, from here, price, this is a very clear support zone. This is number 1 support zone. Price can do that, or price can do this, come to this support. There's a support zone here too. The name of the game, like I said, is to wait. You can come to this support zone and then it goes back up. So you want to wait. You don't want to take a buy here for gold at this place. At this spot, you want to wait for it to do its thing and come back before you take a buy. So basically, that's what I just want to share. So that's why, look at one commodity, gold, EURUSD. EURUSD also, if you go to pounds USD, the scenario is like this. It's almost the same. Let me start from the monthly chart. You can see that the scenario is almost the same. It's also battling resistance around there on the monthly chart. If I go to the weekly chart, also, it's also battling it's also battling resistance around this zone. On the daily chart, same thing. You can see, same thing. So there's a resistance that is battling. So you don't want to take a buy here. You want to some dangerous traders, like I always call them, they'll take a sell here, and which is very dangerous. So you want to wait. But it's better for you to wait. Either price pull back and then you take a buy when it pulls back, or you wait for a breakout and then you take a buy. So so that's everything I want to share with us this week. Going forward, probably from tomorrow, if I see a clear signal, I'll drop it on the group also. And then if I have any other information, I'll be dropping it on the group. I don't know if anybody, if you have any question you want me to address, I can quickly take 1 or 2 questions before we call it a day. So if you have any question, just let me know. Like I said, the purpose of this meeting is just to keep us abreast of the price, of what market is doing. What market is doing. For the crypto market, if you have some money lying fallow, there's some coins you can buy that for me, I've been doing a lot of this year into Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other very good projects. I think Sand, Mana, Chainlink, and some other very good projects I've been talking about in the group. That I'm just buying. Sometimes $50, sometimes $20, sometimes $30, sometimes $100. Depends by the kind of money I make when I'm trading. Short-term trade. I'll just put some money. I just buy them and keep them, because I know that eventually in the next couple of months, price will go back up, and that's where you want to be. You want to buy these coins when they are very cheap. So everybody, thank you for coming. In the absence of I don't know if anybody have any question you want me to quickly probably address about the chart. we can all look at it together. If you have anything that is not clear. All right, so in the absence of any no question, probably I'll call it a day. Let me unmute everybody so you could just say good night. All right, good night. Good night, everybody. I'll be dropping the recording on the group. All right. So good night.